Alright guys, what is up? So sorry y'all. My roomie's watching her crime stories. I'm trying to get this reaction done today. So we had episode 3 of Once Upon a Time and a lot of stuff was revealed. So we start off the episode with Cinderella getting to her meeting spot with Henry when they met the first time. She's almost captured by the king's people, thinking she murdered the prince. And that's where she meets up with Tiana. So we end up finding out that Tiana is part of Resistance. She wants Cinderella to join. She goes with her, and that's where she meets the Resistance crew. Tiana goes about and says that the queen is gathering up magic for something, and her main plan is to take it from the entire kingdom. Everything's accounted for except for the secret box that they don't know of. Maybe Cinderella knows. She lies and says she's recognizing, but we can tell that she recognized it. This is when Henry comes back and he brought Regina and Woodchuck with him. So the initial plan is to go out in the morning to, get to Lady Tremaine. And in the middle of the night, Cinderella sneaks out back to her house and finds Lady Tremaine there waiting for her. That is when we see a coffin. We're thinking, okay, the father's in there, but it's actually Anastasia. And we find out that she's dying, but the queen has kept her last breath to keep her somewhat alive. Lady Tremaine wants Cinderella to grab the heart of a true believer in order to be like Anastasia, and she makes him go after Henry. She refuses to do it, but she says if she doesn't, she's gonna make sure everyone in Resistance gets captured and is dead. So Cinderella, being put in an ultimatum, is about to go get Henry's heart, but she couldn't, and she goes to the Wellman who is asleep. She's about to take out his heart, but Regina stops her, uncharms her hand, and tells her that that isn't the way it should be done. And we see a lot of great character, development in Regina's character because she has gone through so much. Next morning, Cinderella's about to leave. Regina stops her, and then we find out that Anastasia died at 14, and that Cinderella blames herself for what happened. Regina tells her to forgive herself, and just when you think that Cinderella left, she decides to stay, and she goes to go by the name of Ella. So this is going to be a new thing we're going to see, and we're going to see her grow as a character. So then we go back to Hyperion Heights where a lot of stuff's going down. We found out that the garden is getting torn down to construction, and that Lucy doesn't want to see it go because that's where the flowers are. Now she wants her mom to start believing, and she eventually does. She starts a petition to get the garden, keep the garden from getting turned into condos. She gets all the signatures, and it all happens so fast. She's feeling so much confident in herself, but then Belfry comes by and finds out that she's been doing a petition. She tries to bargain her off with offering her and Lucy a condo together. Oh, I'm so mad about this because she didn't burn up the petition, and Lucy saw her, and Lucy was so mad she didn't want to live her at all. She goes to the bar and gets a drink, and Ronnie gives her advice saying that she shouldn't let Belfry belittle her. She gets the people in Hyperion Heights together to sign a petition again. They take a stand against Belfry, and they get it all together to save the garden. Meanwhile, Henry, Ronnie, and I keep calling Rogers try to make a tag team and try to figure out what Belfry's onto. They find out that she's been bribing the commissioner to get the permits earlier than expected to do construction. Rogers follows this lead and ends up finding him. Meanwhile, Weaver is following him. Rogers eventually meets up with the commissioner and takes him in. We then see Weaver shaking hands with the commissioner. We found out that he basically was like, whatever he does with Belfry, it's gonna come back to me, and he's gonna stop it. So he's kind of in on the case too, not for sure, but yeah, he's in on the case. So later in the day, meanwhile, Henry and Lucy, she has a vendetta to go and see what's under the garden. She goes about this and jumps in the hole, And we're just like, dear Lord. Henry follows her, and that's where they find a piece of Cinderella's God's slipper. This gives Lucy hope, but Henry's not believing it. Later on, when, you know, she's about to leave her mom, she gives Henry the slipper, the piece of the slipper, and she says, her mom believes herself, now you just have to believe. And just for her to think, okay, there's eventually somewhere, the grave pops up, and it's the names of Henry's supposed wife and daughter. We're just like, oh man, there goes the hope. We get cut to Lady Tremaine and a loading dock who's getting the actual coffin. We see her go up, and we see her in a high place where basically she has someone prisoner on chains. She has this wild hair. A lot of people think it was Rapunzel. A lot of people thought this was Rapunzel, but in my theory, it might be Mother Gothel from Rapunzel. Lady Tremaine's plan is to get Asia to resurrect Anastasia, and she has to make sure Lucy gives up her belief in the world, but the witch is basically like, that's not gonna happen because it's gonna end up in the same thing. No matter how you go about it, you're just gonna end up miserable. So we are gonna see how this goes. In next week's episode, which is actually tomorrow because I'm recording this Thursday, we're gonna see, it's gonna be a Rumple-centered episode, and we're gonna see what happened to Belle, but also find out about Alice, who's Weaver's second in command, kind of. So we're gonna find that out. And based on the promo, hopefully they don't kill Belle off. I really hope not, but we're gonna see some stuff happen. Hopefully Alice can probably get some sense into Weaver, and maybe, yes maybe possibly her and Lucy might work together to try to look out for everybody. Now from what we see, from what we've been released for titles of episodes, we know that episode 6 is going to be a Cinderella-centered episode about her backstory and probably what happened to Anastasia. And at episode 9, someone is bound to wake up. So we have no idea what's going to happen. I'll have more details in tomorrow's episode. Anyway, it's your girl, peace out, my love, and don't forget to subscribe.